Hello, this is a presentation about Mac OS. My name is Rakeshwara D. Kambayagari, uh, and let's get started. First of all, the topics we're going to discuss about are what is Mac OS, history of Mac OS, design goals, memory management, process management, device management, file management, security management, and we'll discuss user interface and future of the Mac OS. So let's get started with what is macOS? macOS is an operating system developed by an American company named Apple Inc. This operating system was first introduced in the year 1984 to run the personal computers of Apple. This line of PC is called Macintosh, and this Mac OS has been marketed by Apple since 2001. It is still the primary operating system of all MacBooks, and yeah, it's still running now. And when it comes to the history of macOS, macOS is originated from a company founded by Steve Jobs. He had a different company called Next, and he kind of built the operating system from there, and he integrated that is a more much of Unix-like operating system, and he integrated that into macOS, and he created this revolutionary macOS from that. And its GUI was, when it comes to GUI, graphical user interface of the macOS was built on top of object-oriented graphical user interface toolkit, which is using the programming language Objective-C. Early versions of macOS did not have specific names. To keep things simple, people began to use system file version numbers to differentiate between various operating system versions. The first operating system was named as Macintosh System Software 1. That was in the year 1984. It was introduced with the original Macintosh computers, which received one of the longest applause breaks in the recorded history. Right, it's a revolution, the MacBooks. System 1 introduced some incredibly powerful features that remain a critical part of macOS to this day. Later came the versions System 2, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, 6, 7. And in the year of 1997, macOS 8 was released. Shortly after Steve Jobs returned to the company, he was away at other things. And then when he returned back to release macOS 8, it was mainly released to keep macOS moving forward because that was a difficult time for macOS. And he entered in, did his magic. And macOS 9, the last major revision of early Macintosh operating system, was released in 1999. It added improved support for AirPods wireless networking, which allows users to access the internet quickly and easily. Now, the most recent release of macOS is called Big Sur. It is happened to be one of the most important version of macOS because it's currently running now and it's a huge success. And when it comes to design goals, most of the recent macOS, which is named Big Sur, the first thing to look at is interface. People, most people buy macOS just for the user interface, just for the Mac. They buy MacBooks for macOS, so it's a big hit. And Control Center was added for the design goals, which is the latest update, and it was pretty much the same as we use in iPad and iOS mobile phones. They try to integrate everything into one operating system. That's what they always tried to do through 2012. And they also integrated iMessages, and you can also answer your FaceTime video calls to your Mac OS. Like they're all connected. Apple always try to build this huge network of the ecosystem, Apple ecosystem. So everything is connected with Apple. Yeah. These actions over the year have led to spectacular that Apple may merge with operating system into one, but this happened till 2012, and then later the idea of merging to one was not really thing because Apple started making Apple watches, so the OS of the Apple watches can't really be Mac OS because the the display is pretty small and the user interaction is very different, so they can't make the same OS for everything. So when it comes to memory management, macOS featured a memory management method that is no longer used in modern computers. Like the designers of Macintosh were initially faced with the task of figuring out how to make the most of machines' random access memory. Unfortunately, the design choice did not scale well with the evolution of the machine, but the primary concern of design appears to be the fragmentation. That's the primary issue, and it was reduced because the full application heap was eliminated when the program was closed. And yeah, that's pretty much only issue with memory management. They dealt with pretty good. And when it comes to process management, for macOS process management, several command line programs that allow for live process management have been implemented by developers over time. It didn't happen gradually, but yeah, it happened. Apple has consolidated their functions into actively monitor to make the process management more user friendly. There are two components to the primary activity monitor. The first process list at, at the top, which allows you to see and verify all of the system's running process for resource utilization. The second portion is the system statistical section, which is located at the bottom of the window and allows you to view total amount of used and available system resources in a separate tab. Like you can view how much RAM you've left, which you, which applications are using what, which how much of the processor, like what the space are they utilizing. You can see all that in the process management. And when it comes to file management, Apple uses the Finder, that is the file management system of Apple for Mac OS. Yeah, you can do pretty much anything with like moving files, copying files, and you can also integrate iCloud, like it's a cloud storage device by Apple. So you can also access your iCloud storage from Finder. And the thing about iCloud is you can access that storage, that data, cloud data from any of the device, like your MacBook, your iPad, iPhone. Yeah, but they don't use Finder, but yeah, pretty much the same. Yeah. And Finder stacks in a desktop organization that allows you to keep files stored in a neat groups. Like you can stack them up by date, tag, you can give some tags. They give all the flexibility, like you can arrange the files and based on the user preferences. Yeah. And when it comes to security management, one of the biggest things, most people use Macs for their security, even iPhones. That is the primary concern. Yeah, the Macs platform was created with integrated approach to hardware, software, and services that ensure security by design. So security is the number one priority in the design of Mac Apple products. The, yeah, also Apple incorporated all the security features in that, and also they collaborated with standard organizations like to get up to date with the security issues. They might not know all the breaches or security leeches, all their mistakes. So they collaborated with third-party organizations and to get insights about security breaches, and they are pretty much covered with all of the security features. Apple is the best when it comes to security. Yeah. And user interface, I've already discussed that, but yeah, user interface is one of the biggest thing in macOS. That's called it's called Aqua. Aqua is Apple's operating system's graphical GUI. Design language, visual theme, and for the first time, from the first Macintosh to I think from System 6, macOS was essentially the same. Like it has the black and white theme, no colors, and one of the major change recently was with Big Sur version. Yeah, it changed everything about user interface, like adding the controls and control center and integrating all the apps at one place. And it also allows a lot of customization for the user. Like they can change the interface according to their preferences. Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility in the latest version, Big Sur. Yeah. And future of macOS. Apple has succeeded to establish itself as a major player in the worldwide customer computing market. That's known to everybody. In not very much at the macOS. Yeah, it's still competing with Windows, which is a major part of operating system in laptops. But Mac OS, as I've said earlier, people buy MacBooks just for the Mac OS. So it's established its mark, and also most people use iPhones, so you want to kind of integrate in the ecosystem, so people just buy MacBooks so that they can go easy with their iPhones. And also, one thing that guarantees macOS status is Apple's platform for foreseeable future. Apple always have this vision like in 2 years, in 3 years, they're gonna bring something revolutionary. And I've pretty much seen it for like 4 to 5 years. They always bring something new and innovative. And almost all of the Apple software is still developed on Mac. So I don't see Mac going anywhere soon in the near future. I only can think that it can go way up. I think it will one day beat Windows, and it will establish an ecosystem where everybody just uses Apple. That's what I think. Thank you very much. Have a good day.